Sue's back.
We're back.
Dante's back.
No, Dante is back.
Tell your friends.
Don't tell anyone. Oh, I keep forgetting to unlock Stinger.
And he gets stressed, and he flies, and you can't see his junk because of pizza.
Yeah, no, it was a baseball bat in this one. Oh, and pizza.
Then there was
so many layers.
Ooh, we're going to the bottling plant.
Where they're going to the Coke factory or the Surge factory. And just a little tidbit.
So cute.
I have changed Dante back to his original clothes because he does not deserve to wear the red jacket.
Oh, you've only played 6 episodes with it, so it took you this time to realise.
I feel like he reacted to my comment where I said it made him look even worse.
Yeah.
And he's decided to change it back to new Dante.
Whatever this game can get, whatever points it can get. So
the texture just went a bit fucked up.
Yeah, well, shadows are hard, Luke.
Ooh.
Sexier. So what was your point?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh.
It has literally been
silence?
5 minutes.
Oh, did you know that it enhances sexual 63% sexual?
Yep.
Sex!
So, look, what we were talking about originally, well, continuously, with this game, it is a sum of its parts in terms of why people hate it. There's not one thing people can say that is why everyone hates it, and then nothing else. So Tamim was the name of the dude from Ninja Theory, also the writer to this game, also basically the director, the everything for it. He's the reason this game exists like it does. And another thing that he said, I just read up, one thing he said specifically was, I'm going to change the style from how it was before. Like he specifically stated, everyone was excited for Devil May Cry 5, and then it was a reboot, and one of the first things he said about it was, I'm going to change everything. And so immediately put people on the defensive. And then he releases what Dante looks like. And then people get upset about that because he looks different.
See, I can't just say...
Is he like 14?
This is pretty cool. At the age of like 10, he slayed some sort of a hellhound, fucked 30 women, and then fought a single man riot.
Look at this photo.
Then he also stabbed himself in the heart. Just to do what? To figure out that he was truly alive?
Yes.
That's true. Fucking badass!
No, it's not.
It's way more badass than answering the phone and being like, fuck off, we're closed, and then throwing it lazily.
Okay, so this is what I forgot to talk about before. This is the difference.
Fires.
Oh, good.
Starting fires I can't contain.
Good. This is one of the main differences. That was what a 10-year-old kid would try to describe himself as being cool as. They're like, and I fought a bunch of people, and I fucked 30 chicks, and then I like stabbed my heart to see if it was still beating, to see if I could feel emotion.
It does sound like a My Chemical Romance song.
It sounds like Gerard Way sitting there as a 10-year-old. No, that's what a 10-year-old child would be telling his friends that he did.
Man,
like,
they said keep out.
I mean, he's a rebel without a cause. He is James Dean personified.
Isn't his
Look,
cause?
he's not even looking at Kat, and Kat's not looking at him. Creed album cover right here. Done. Can I just like destroy that?
I do have to say, I don't think this story was that deep, but if I were to give it credit, the fact that he broke out of an orphanage at the age of 10, he's probably not the most socially adjusted person.
No.
And all of that stuff is cool to him.
Yeah, and see...
Because the fact that he's managed to survive in a world where literally everyone wants to cut his head off, he probably thinks he's pretty sweet.
Is that really endearing as much as you think it is, though?
For me,
like, okay. But one thing I was talking about with Luke... By the way, I cannot jump or use any weapons or anything. It's boring. How did you do it before? That's another thing. This game, a lot of hand-holding. What I was originally... To bring back what I've been trying to talk about...
Go on.
Is, in Devil May Cry, the first game... basically, you're in the shop, the opening cutscene, Trish jumps up and throws a I want to go down here, what's down here? Trish throws a motorcycle at you, and then blah blah blah, she goes, come to this island to do this thing. Long story short, they go to the island, Dante's there on the island, and then Trish goes, goodbye, and then you don't see her for another 3 hours of gameplay. That is it, you are alone. And right from the get-go, you have to figure it out for yourself, you have to know what you're doing, you have to know what's going on. And you just do. You figure it out, and it's much more rewarding. Because you're playing this unstoppable badass. You're playing this dude who just came to basically hell incarnate on an island. He's fucking people up left and right, not having any problems with it. Whereas, cut to the opening of this game, the first thing he sees is like a demon thing destroying his caravan. And then he goes to the caravan, he's like, oh fuck, my caravan's broken, I guess, I gotta fight this thing. And then the first thing that happens basically is Cat pops up and holds your hand throughout the whole thing.
I'll say this. Come back to that. Finish what you're saying first.
Well, basically, it's a case of throughout this game, it's not Dante. It's Dante and his friends guiding Dante all around. Every single set piece and every single level and mission in this game has been someone directly holding you to it, or in some cases, literally taking you there themselves and going, have at it. Well, just before, one quick second. With Devil May Cry 1, technically Trish took you to that island, but then the rest was Dante. That's one of my major irks with this, but go on, Luke.
Well, I think that's more just a thing of modern gaming. I feel like a lot of modern games, they try to guide you through things a lot more, like, whereas a lot of older, more classic games, when you would play them, they kind of just let you try to figure it out. There's actually two examples I want to mention because they kind of just teach you the game as you play. Like in Mega Man X, on the very first level, there's a jump that is too wide to just make, and you fall and you think, oh fuck, I'm dying. You fall down, but there's a ledge down below, and then you try, how do I get out of this ledge? You jump up, and then you kind of start to slide down the wall. And you come to realize you can wall jump, and you wall jump your way up. And that's just the game. Nothing in the game tells you to do that. You just instinctively figure it out because the game is so well designed.
Yes.
Where I think modern games don't have that same kind of thing.
Well, that's also a thing, and that is cool, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's also a thing where Mega Man is a 2D game where they said, Mega Man, kill robots, that's it.
Yeah.
Again, that was the time, but it's also a 2D side-scroller. Games nowadays want to tell a story and have better graphics than they ever did and stuff. And
Yeah.
sometimes they lose game mechanics for that.
Yeah,
But it's just a different type of game they want to be.
And I guess that feeds into it as well, because Mega Man X, everyone agrees Mega Man X was fucking difficult. 100%. I don't care how proud you are of it. Mega Man was hard. And Devil May Cry was hard. If they remade Mega Man now, and it was like Mighty Number 9, for instance, that was easy as piss. It was it was very stupid in like the damage taking and all that sort of stuff, but the game itself was very easy. And all the people who were expecting it to be Mega Man were like, "Hey, this isn't Mega Man," and was very disappointed.
But then you get into the confusion of people saying that games are losing their edge because they used to be difficult, but they used to be difficult so that you would put more money into the arcade cabinet and keep playing.
Exactly right.
So games definitely used to be hard, and it was a challenge to finish.
For
but they
certain
were
games.
intentional.
For certain games like Metal Slug for sure.
No, for certain.
Games like Mega Man, I don't think so because it never came out in arcade. It was just a hard game.
No, and that was kind of the pivot to putting games, like still learning what games used to mean, and then coming to see what they are now, which a lot of the time is quote-unquote interactive narratives.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of games are like that, you know, and I mean, you can look at the latest Pokemon game, for example, with that. They really went, you know, heavy on the story, and a lot of the journeying elements has been kind of, in a way, lost in the new Pokemon game. Like, oh, so you, instead of just surfing to Zon, you just cutscene, go onto a boat there, you know? It doesn't really affect the game that greatly, but it's a different feel compared to, like, you know, you used to just try and figure it out yourself how to get that next island, you know? Compare that with Hoenn, where you literally would surf around the ocean for ages till you found the next island. Or whatever.
Again, it's trying to evolve, because Pokemon as a franchise, the first one came out...
I think people want more story in Pokemon now.
Yeah, the first one was beat the guys, and I mean, everyone remembers Red fondly because that's who you played in the first game, but you go back to it, Red literally says nothing. He's just a dude that wanders around, and he's just one of the silent protagonists, which you know my opinions on silent
We know your
protagonists.
opinions on them.
So the new ones, they're trying to add story. Although I will agree that the latest Pokemon game, as fun as it was, they really could have sped up starting the game. There was a lot of staggered tutorial conversations.
Yeah.
And that was definitely...
Which, as I said, I feel like it is kind of the way the games industry is evolving and going. I feel like the modern gamer, or like this younger generation of gamers coming in, they're wanting more kind of just everything to be kind of explained, and they want a less... what's the word I'm trying to look for? I think they just want a more casual experience, just something that they...
Something more
straightforward and play. Like, I mentioned just before, Frank, in Mega Man X, where you, in the first level, you discover you can wall jump. That you fall and then you have to wall jump up.
Yeah.
And that's just something you discover. Well, another one is in the old 2D Metroid games. I remember the first time I discovered I could go into the morph ball. There's like a little tiny tunnel, and I'm like, how the hell do I go through that? Then you kind of just realize, oh, I can press down and move at the same time while holding down, and I go into the ball. And like that's just something that you kind of just figure out by just playing around with the controls.
There are different ways to do things.
But, as Kane said, there's a big difference in a 2D game was able to kind of have those more simplified, intuitive mechanics, whereas a full 3D kind of world and adventure, let's say like this game for example, can't really have that same luxury.
I feel like this was definitely written with that punk edge that we keep talking about. And again, if written differently, it could be interesting. Like you were saying, how everyone leads Dante everywhere. Yeah. I don't know if it's entirely the way that this game was, and I honestly don't think it is. But if presented in a different way, that could give you insight into the character. Because literally before this, all Dante did was sit around, drink, sleep with women, do whatever he wanted.
Exactly.
The reason these characters are dragging him along is because he would not be doing anything if they weren't there saying, come over here.
Yeah.
Treating him like, come on, let's go.
And then once again, it depends on... I mean, this kind of goes without saying because of subjectivity. You really like what you like, and that's what you like. But it depends. Like, I don't like a character like that. I like a character that is more, yeah, let's do it. Let's go and do this. I prefer him...
And that's what Dante was. That's what Dante should be. It's been a complete 180. Like, if he shed similar traits or anything like that, or of course, if they just said, this is not Dante, this is a different character, that would be entirely different.
Didn't they say that?
Like, sorry, it's still, like, it's a version of Dante.
Share the same name. Basically, a character... What if they just called this guy, I don't know, Steve? Cool boy.
Yeah, if this was Steve, that'd be fine.
They call him Cool Boy.
I feel
boy
like
Steve. There we go.
the thing is, it's difficult because we were saying before about... I mean, generally it goes to the internet because that's where you can see all of these comments. People would not have been happy. They would have been happy, but also not happy regardless of what happened. If this game came out and it was called, I don't know, like Demon Hunter or some bullcrap like that, and this was a different guy, all the comments would have been, well, this is just a cheap knockoff of a DmC game. They tried to copy his attitude and failed. They tried to copy this and failed.
There's a difference.
How many games have been a God of War ripoff since God of War came out?
Every single game.
Every single hack and slash game is a God of War clone. And
right.
No one will
Even
play
Final
it.
Fantasy 15 is a God of War
To
clone.
counteract that, though, have you ever heard of a game called, someone say that a game is Metroidvania?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's saying it's basically a Metroid and a Castlevania clone, but it's a positive thing. It's saying, yeah, this is a Metroidvania style game.
So with God of War, people say negative.
And same with Pokemon. When people think
and Call of
compare
Duty
things to Pokemon, it's always negative.
Yeah.
It could never be as good. Metroidvania, I think people always say it as a positive though, which is an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's not really something you think about because it's just accepted in the vernacular. But, like, for instance, what you were saying, Kane, Bayonetta. Everyone's like, this is Devil May Cry. It's made by the creator of Devil May Cry. And that spoke to it. That helped it more than anything. They were saying, this is made by Devil May Cry. It plays like Devil May Cry. If you like Devil May Cry, you will like this game. And it was more than different enough for people to go, hey, this is kind of different. I like the look of this game. This is cool. And that fed to it. That helped its success. Whereas with this game, they've gone, this is Devil May Cry, but we're changing everything about it that made Devil May Cry Devil May Cry. And then they realized how bad of an idea that was, and that's when they started to go, oh shit, maybe we should swap around.
This guy's not going down.
But they really didn't change everything that made Devil May Cry Devil May Cry. Honestly, they changed the look. They changed Dante, which I understand as your main protagonist, but it might just be a side effect of the fact that because you're a fan of the old one, you don't like it. We've had conversations about Jak and Daxter plenty of times.
Yes.
Jak and Daxter 1 is a Crash Bandicoot clone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Naughty Dog made it. You spin around and you have fun. The second game opens up and the character's first words in 2 games are, I'm going to kill someone.
Yes.
That is such a 180 on that character, but people liked it. And
Because
then that
it-
spawned the rest of the franchise.
Because it's still the same character. That is still Jak.
It was not!
It was 100%
It
Jak.
sounds like an entirely different character.
The first game you had to defeat a mystical evil because he was corrupting the world, and you smiled and you spun around and kicked things.
Like a happy-go-lucky animal man.
The
does
second
not
game you
sound
say,
like a
I'm gonna
killer.
murder someone, and you meet another guy and say, oh, piss off, I'm gonna go kill someone. Then you join an underground militia and topple an empire.
Does not sound
What
like
I
the
mean,
first one.
why it is
It's
literally the same person. It is the same character. It
Which
is-
would make your argument even worse, because this is not the same character, and he is different. Therefore, different people can be different people, right?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, in Kane's specific example,
Yeah.
that was Jak. Oh, I've just completely backtracked. That was Jack, and after he'd gone through 2.5 years of being physically and mentally tortured. That was the same character, the same person who has been fundamentally changed. It's loss of innocence. Thank you, Luke. And that's something that I can experience going through, not personally, obviously, but that's something I can be in the middle of and go, oh, I saw this character when he was happy-go-lucky, and to see him like this sickens me. And you understand his struggle and his pain more, because that is Jack. That is the same little scamp that was laughing and giggling about his friend getting turned into an Otzel and all that sort of stuff. That's something that I can get behind, because while it is a complete fundamental change, it's one that's reasonable. Because it's something that I've seen, experienced, and gone, okay, he's been tortured so much, that probably explains why he's such a different person. So that doesn't necessarily feed into this, where it's just gone, he's different now, it's a completely different person, Dante can go fuck himself.
Man, how come Crash Bandicoot never turned... Because wasn't he an experiment?
Hey, he's doing a remake.
He should have come out being angry.
He's doing a remake.
Instead, he was all like, whoa!
Let's talk about Crash Bandicoot specifically. The next time you play this game.
Yeah, right? In the next episode, one thing to close the episode, just to bring back to the original point, you were saying how this is... Well, I said it didn't basically have anything to do with Devil May Cry, and you're like, no, it's still very similar. After the backlash of Ninja Theory coming out and going, we're changing everything, there was a certain point where they realized how detrimental that was to their campaign, and they started backtracking. They did legitimately start going, oh shit, maybe we shouldn't have done that much to change it. And there was actually quite a lot of them going back and reworking things. So the original thing that made everyone very upset about Devil May Cry, substantially different to this, and that that probably will make their argument worse off, because now that the game's changed, people would be saying, well, why aren't you happy now? It's changed back to how you liked it. But the initial dose of that is enough to leave a very bad taste in your mouth. And this game is itself decent. It's not Game of the Year. It's not going to win. I didn't win any awards, really. Not that I know of, mind you.
To be fair, though, was the original Devil May Cry ever Game of the Year?
No, I was just saying that in general to this game. Like, if this game was amazing, like the best game ever, people would have very easily overlooked it. But I guess that's a conversation for another episode.
Which we obviously will continue, because we've been doing it for 7 parts so far.
Don't tell anyone. We'll leave just his dopey face.